Hello, my fellow gamers, and we all knew this was coming sooner or later. That's right, I am doing another series of the full breakdown of the Pirates Coast or Vampire Coast DLC, where we're going to be going through every spell, every lord, every character, every unit, every upgrade, just everything. We're going to break it all down. I did this for the Warhammer 2 and the Toon Kings, and a lot of people absolutely loved having it broken down into its most basic things. Take a look at it together, and in this series I've taken on feedback from the previous series, so it's going to be more visually appealing, so you guys have got better things to look at instead of me just looking at the custom battle screen. But this is a series where you could just have it playing in the background. You could be doing some Total War games, you could be doing the Wasnab, you could be cleaning the house, you could be walking the dog, who knows. But this is something you could play in the background and listen to. But I have done it that if people are sat down and watching it, it's going to be more visually appealing for you guys to look at. So what's this going to be broken down to? Well, it's going to be broken down to this individual section. So this episode's the easiest, which is magic. But it's important as well because a lot of characters have the magic, so it's good to know the magic first. So we're going to cover magic in this episode, then we're going to have lords, heroes, infantry, missile infantry, monsters and beasts, missile monsters and beasts, war machines, and rare monsters. That is 9 episodes in total. In total? Oh dear, it's got to be a good start. In total for this series. So we're going to jump straight into the magic panel, and we're going to have a look over what spells of the Law of the Deep, I believe it's called. Is it the Laws of the Deep? It is the Law of the Deep. Fantastic. So guys, the first spell is Spiteful Shot, which is an argument spell. It lasts for 27 seconds. It can either affect yourself or allies within 200 meters. You can't use it if climbing, apparently. Target if missile attack is possible, so you can only do it to units that can shoot because it increases your accuracy. Funny enough, not only does it increase your accuracy by 90 points, not 90%, 90 points, it also makes it magical damage. So if you've got Ephro units, ghost units attacking you, you could just drop that down and suddenly, surprise, not only can we shoot you better, but we can actually do some serious damage and probably wipe out the whole unit, because a lot of them don't have much health. They rely on that resistance. It costs 4 mana to use, and it can be used every 28 seconds. Now if we upgrade this, it lasts, instead of 27 seconds, it lasts for 54 seconds, but it does cost 6 more power. So to be fair, for 2 more mana you're probably better off doing that, because that means for nearly a whole minute of the battle. And remember guys, I've seen some games last 5 minutes. So in that example, that's 1/5 of the battle. For 6 mana, your guys get extra accuracy and magical damage. So that's a pretty good, but of course if you're desperate, you can just quick 4 points, done, get it on. Right, let's move on to the next one then. This one's called Tide Cool. It's a breath attack that lasts for 6 seconds. Very nice animation though. I do love the animation for the water, I was going to say water spells then. For the Law of the Deep, very nice. It can target a ground unit within 100 meters. Cannot target if they're flying, because they're flying above it, or on a wall. So it causes moderate magical damage, can disrupt the enemy formation, so great to do this with like a cavalry charge or something going into spearmen, break up that formation straight in. It's an expanded tier-shaped attack like most breath attacks. It's weak against armor, but for 10 seconds it does cause them to lose 24% speed. So again, it could be if a unit's trying to get away, you could put it in front of them, they get caught in it, slow down, you can then catch them. This costs only 5 mana. And it's every 32 seconds you can do it. If we go for the upgraded though, it increases the armor piercing, but it is still weak against armor, but it does increase if you are going against armored units. You've got that there, but this does raise it from 5 Winds of Magic to 8. The power cost, I should get the wording right for this, so cost 3 more power to do, but it does increase the armor piercing damage. I'm not sure by how much though. Don't really say anywhere how much, so that might be worth testing at some point. But yeah, and again 32 seconds between casts. But where it's so cheap to upgrade, if you're going against an armoured unit, it'll be worth it. If it's, you know, save a couple of power. If it's not. Moving on to the Fog of the Damned. Ooh. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've done one of these. So, it's a hex. Only acts on targets when in area. Okay, so they could run out of there. It lasts for 35 seconds, though, which is quite a long time. A ground or an enemy affects enemy in range 200 meters. Okay, so yeah, cannot use of climbing, cannot target it flying, effect range 30 meters. Okay, so you can cast it anywhere within 200 meters of your caster, and the effect is 30 meters around, and the effect is -8 leadership and -26 melee attack, which is quite a lot for 35 seconds. It only costs 8 power, can do it every 44 seconds. Now the upgraded one goes from 8 power to 11, so only 3 more power, and this is still quite cheap, but the melee attack drop is quite dramatically improved from -26 to -44. For some users, that could make them completely redundant for 35 seconds, but it is, remember guys, an area effect, so I presume the enemy can just walk out if need to be, but if you've got them fixed in, you could drop this on them, and suddenly they're kind of stuck with this massive melee attack debuff as well as leadership. So that I can see that being a very popular one to pick, because that's quite a nice combo. Especially, can you imagine that against Skaven with low leadership or Petunia Peasant? It'd be boom. Not only is your melee attack pretty much not doing anything, you're just gonna run. So yeah, really nice. The next spell we've got is Damsels of the Deep. I mean, look at this. What is this? It's amazing. It's pretty much Argument spell, duration 3 seconds because it's a summoner spell. Can only target target within 60 meters, so it's got to be quite close. But still, yeah, get to summon stuff. You cannot use if the army is full, makes sense. So you got to lose some units to be able to summon more. But it summons a unit of rotten Prometheans. It just summons giant crabs. Okay, let's just do that. This costs a 13 power to cast. You can do it every 39 seconds, so it's 13 power. That's still quite cheap, but you can only do it twice in the entire battle. So you can't just spam these things, but it's great if you want to get behind the enemy, maybe drop them behind, then use Fog of the Damned as a nice combo, because that only costs 21 power. It's quite a bit, but it does mean you get the surround, the debuff, and just hopefully wipe them out. So a nice summoning one there, and I do love the crabs, so we're going to see them later. Next we've got Kraken's Pool, which is a vortex spell. It lasts for 16 seconds. You can target anywhere on the ground that's within 200 meters. Cannot target if it's on a wall or flying. So the Kraken's Pool, I assume it does some damage. I'd like to think it does. But what it mainly does is halves your speed, pretty much. 48% speed for 10 seconds. But this does cost 15 power, and you can do it every 49 seconds. The upgrade makes it from 16 seconds to 31. But that does cost an extra 5 power. So you're talking 20 power to half the speed of something for 31 seconds. Just trying to look. What's Tide Cool? Now, Tide Cool, you could do for 5. Yeah, Tide Cool, you could do for 5 power. And it lowers it by 24%. Or you could spend 3 times the amount. I mean, how long does it last? Oh, it's only 6 seconds. Ah, but that's 10 seconds, yeah. So, that's only 10 seconds. So, I guess it must do damage as well, though. While it's doing that, as well as slowing them down. But that's quite a big jump. I'd be tempted to go over the Tide Cool every time. But, of course, Vortex is a bigger area. So, again, we have to test to see how much damage these Tide Cool and Kraken's Pool do. But both slow down the enemy, which is really important. That's really good to use. Finally, we've got Van Haste's Revenge. I've probably mispronounced that horribly. It's a wind spell which lasts for 7 seconds. You can target a unit with an area within 150 meters. Causes massive magical attack. Well, I'm not surprised. Look at it. Medium forward moving area effect. Strong versus multiple units. Weak versus a single combatant point because they can dodge it. This is 16 power to use. Can use it every 54 seconds. I do love it. The animation, the ability. It's really, really cool. The upgraded version, it increases the armor piercing. of the thing. So again, if you're up against a weaker unit, say Skaven, Empire basic troops, or you know, anything that's got a basic armor, use the cheap one. But for an extra 6 power, so 22, so we're talking a lot at this point, it increases the armor piercing. But that could be if you're going against something like Knights or something really heavy, it might be worth doing. Especially when you look at the other little spells, aren't that expensive. You know, you could probably use that. If you have a full 30, you could use that, have 8 left, let it recharge, and then just use some basic spells. Of course, you could use the basic one, which is 16, which is still very, very nice. So there we go, guys. That's a nice, quick, fast episode, as always, with the magic one. Well, for this one, because we only had 6 spells to worry about. Before, we had to cover so many spells. But this one, it's just these 6. And, yeah, very nice. I mean, I love the animations. Absolutely brilliant. So, guys, do comment below what your thoughts are with the Law of the Deep. Have you found any good combos, like the idea of slowing them down, or doing the Fog of the Damned after summoning, or anything like that? Have you had any funny glitches or problems with it, since it's quite new release? And, yeah, just comment below what your thoughts are. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so, and do subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this sort of content. Thank you very much for joining me, and tomorrow we'll be going over all of the lords, which we know is going to be a long video. There's 4 named lords. Oh dear. Thank you very much for joining me, guys, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the next one. Till then, take care.